RLMC, or Real Life Minecraft, was a modded Minecraft multiplayer server which was around for 3 seasons before it was eventually shut down. I was around for the second season, but due to some projects in school, I never played it again. Later on, they released a third season, aptly named Season 2, in which I did play, and oh boy was it fun. For those of you who don't know, there's a mod named Fixed Modern Warfare, or VMW, that is currently in development for 1.12.2 that introduced firearms and armor from real life, as well as some firearms from games like the Fat Man from the Halo franchise, and some of the firearms from the Halo franchise. VMW was basically a core mod for the mod pack as well as Tough as Nails. The goal of the server was to group up with others and survive, with factions being made for many reasons. In this video, I'm going to be explaining the events and the eventual war that tore the server in two, as well as a few personal experiences. This is RLMC, the best server I've played on so far. At first, the rules for the server were a little complicated, but they were pretty easy to remember after a bit. There were rules that were obvious, like how the only client-side mod you could have was Optifine, but there was one rule that was the biggest of all. There was a huge list of banned items that made some items and places inaccessible. This included things like a minigun, all explosives that weren't TNT, the nether, the end, and general things that would balance out the server. A few of the items on the list didn't really make sense until you thought about it. Some of the items included bone meal, as it would make crops really easy to get. With Pam's Harvest Craft reworking hunger, it would be easy to grow anything. Fishing rods, so you didn't go AFK and get more powerful items, as the server was in 1.12.2, and anything that gave you a potion effect, as it would tip the scales to quickly drink something and gain speed too. Also, something I had forgotten to mention when you joined the server with any mod that wasn't in the mod pack, something called Connect Anti-Cheat would stop the user from joining and send an alert to the owner or whoever else had access to the server. I would like to note that when you died to another player, you got banned for 30 minutes. There was also proximity voice chat as well as proximity text chat, and if no one was around you, you wouldn't be able to send a message through the chat. Since the very first day of RLMC was made, there was a faction named ZeroZero. When I had joined, I thought the server owner was in charge, and I got the feeling that it was the largest because it was stationed at the coordinate 00, hence the name, and it was a faction mainly geared towards newer players so that they could get used to playing before they went off and did their own thing. I didn't learn about this until much later, but Lars, the owner of the server, didn't make it and was just invited after him and a friend pranked them. Everything started off well, but within a few hours, everything would change. A veteran player named Clutvh quickly rose through the ranks of the server, and soon enough he would spell doom for the entire server, leading to war. It wasn't long before someone cried havoc and let slip the dogs of war. Clutvh, who had played the previous season like I did, soon began trading for coordinates for the resource nodes. Resource nodes were large mountainous areas that held many of a single ore that would be used to craft firearms. Clutvh had found one and set up a base where he could easily go and mine he did do. Of course, he had a few friends with him, so he was able to easily get resources quicker. He was quickly able to locate and mine all the nodes that were there, and finally, after a few hours of work, he finally was able to craft an M1 Garand with plenty of ammunition. He soon left his base in search of others to conquer. This is where the NCR, or the New Coast Republic, comes in. I joined the server soon after its launch and was immediately hooked. I just happened to be quarantined from school that day, so I was free to sit down and play on the freshly made server and interacted with a few players before doing my own thing. I found a suitable island with a forest not too far away and set up camp. Shortly afterwards, my friend Zach joined me, and we set up a simple base. I had little interest in conflict with others and would rather settle things diplomatically, but Zach on the other hand immediately set up walls and started mining so we could protect ourselves. He started the faction the New Coast Republic, NCR for short, and claimed the chunks of land we wanted, as well as invited another one of our friends, called Ocular. This is where we started a few problems. Zach asked me questions about the mod pack and plugins since I was a little bit more experienced than them, and I found a wiki with the faction plugin Townie. I saw a command that would turn off explosions on our land, meaning no matter what people who aren't in our faction did, they wouldn't be able to mine or blow up the base. We swore to only use it until we were able to craft our first firearms. We found a node near our base and we were able to mine it for materials. We were halfway into our first gun when he showed up. Clutch had arrived at our base. Remember how I said that Clutch had made a base on a node? Yeah, that was the node we found and mined in. I'm not exactly sure how he found our base, but it was either pure luck by traveling towards spawn or he had followed one of us after a mining trip. I remember it very clearly. Clutvh was returning after a mining trip and said, "Hey, are you guys outside the base?" Followed with us replying, "No," and then a scream. He died and was banned for the next 30 minutes. We went into full lockdown. Clutch and his friends had tried to blow up our walls, but because of the setting, it failed. We cheered in victory, as there was no way for them to get to us. Clutch was rightfully confused and asked us what we did. We respectfully replied with a "fuck you," but we turned off a setting that made it impossible to blow up our walls. Of course, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but the message was the same. Clutch immediately called Lars and asked him to help them. We thought it was unfair, but in hindsight there was no way out of it. I quickly grabbed our important items and left the game so we'd at least have something left when the base was eventually destroyed. I got off for the night and went to sleep, but Zach stayed on for a little and asked for a little bit of time so he could defend themselves. Zach did something I believe no one expected. While they were waiting for the time to run out, he was able to dig from underneath the base with some extra supplies and run away before they noticed he was gone. They claimed he left, which would soon be against the rules, but he just left the area. With the smell of chaos lingering in the air, Clutch left his mark on the New Coast Republic, one that we would never forget. He made an enemy that would fight right to the very end, no matter the cost. Shortly after our faction was removed from existence, Zach was able to travel thousands of blocks away to find us a new base. Our base had been destroyed, but he found one of the nodes and found a spot to dig into. He made sure that the only way to find the base would be to find a 16 by 16 block claim in a random part of a mountain. He started digging and left when we had a big enough space to start off with. We all joined later the next day, with myself being escorted to the new base to drop off all our important supplies, and then started working on our new base. We finally got our first firearm, the Carabiner 98K, or Car 98K, and this weapon would be used as our standard issue with stacks of ammo and many attachments that we would use throughout the rest of the server's life. We did the Minecraft equivalent of mass producing, and I was able to craft 4 Car 98Ks in about 6 hours. It wasn't long before tension throughout the server started to rise again. I was looking at the Discord server while I was on break after crafting, and I spotted a message by another user named SnippyChicken22. He asked Clutch when they were gonna raid ZeroZero. Although it was a little dumb to announce it like that on the server, it gave me enough information to see what he was doing after they raided our old base. I grabbed one of our new Car 98Ks and some ammo just in case they managed to find their way in here, and got back to work to the rest of the base. During the rest of the day, I was able to start a nice farm, finishing the entrance of our mine, and was able to grab a few more supplies before I got off for the day. It was peaceful on our side of the server, but things were only getting worse for ZeroZero. I was told later that Clutch was able to turn his render distance up pretty far, and was able to see farther away than the members of ZeroZero could see, and would snipe them from a larger distance. He was able to craft M82 Barretts and was using a powerful scope to easily snipe the members of ZeroZero effortlessly. This was the spark that ignited an almost server-wide war between ZeroZero and their allies, and Clutch with his crew. We got an invitation from the server's admin, Lars, to a group chat on Discord formerly named Poo on Clutch, which would be the base of operations for information. Clutch caught on after a failed recon attempt with all the members of the New Coast Republic, and we found out there was a bug where you could abuse hitboxes of boats, but Lars had already known about it, and it ended up never being used. Eventually, we formally joined sides with ZeroZero and started to develop a plan for a massive attack. Clutch had also caught on to our allegiance and asked Lars about it in DMs. We first thought there was a mole in the group, but it was quickly explained by Zach that he had told the rest of the server to see if we could gain a few more allies and to intimidate Clutch. This started our campaign to help newer players with supplies. Unfortunately, this only sparked more interest in Clutch. So, remember when I mentioned Snippy Chicken 22? So, around the time Snippy announced the raiding, Snippy showed up at our base by complete accident. I was the only one in our faction online, so he didn't follow one of us after a trip, and I was in the base the entire time. Anyway, this is where I freaked out. I was panicking so hard, and I didn't know what to do. I stood still and waited for him to come to me, but I had forgotten that he couldn't break blocks that were on our claim. You might be wondering how he got in the base at all. Yeah, so we had doors that led to our mine, and he dug down to the cave we were branched into and opened our doors. Yeah, that was something we had forgotten with Townie. People could open doors in your claim even if they weren't in your faction. Anyway, it's a good thing that we recently had gotten our hands on a shotgun called the Browning Auto 5 shotgun. Within less than a second, I was able to drop down by mining a block and one-shot Snippy with it. Suffice to say that I was still shaking for a few minutes afterwards, but I just pulled off the biggest middle finger in home defense other than a claymore. Upon realizing that our hidden base was now compromised, we got to thinking on where we could make our new base. We ended up just saying screw it with the stealth, and decided to make a huge compound similar to Clutch's base. We ended up finishing and moving everything within an hour or two, since it was right in front of where we had our previous base. What's even better is that Snippy came back shortly after, and we absolutely destroyed him in case it was a trap. We put our base on a brief lockdown before we assumed the close was clear. We looted his body. It turns out he might have actually tried to solo raid us, as he had a minigun and a rocket launcher. Yeah, both of those were banned, so it gave us an even better chance to fight Clutch if he had more of those. We told Lars, and he got rid of both of ours and Clutch's banned items. Morale was up, and we were ready for what was next. We had gotten some info from someone on the Discord server and said that they could supply us with resources to help out with the war effort. We had a few concerns at first, but we traveled to where they said, and there was another team of 3 in an underground base in the middle of the ocean. We were a little on edge, and we didn't want to confirm where we got the information, but I explained what was going on because we were going nowhere. It turns out that they were the ones that gave us the information and said that we could mine their sulfur node in exchange for some supplies, and a small portion of the haul. We agreed and went on our way. I actually knew one of them from the VMW Discord, and I explained to him in DMs that we really meant no harm, and I would try to get them to leave as soon as possible if we ended up with a dead end. With a new ally on our side, we knew he had a better chance of winning the war. So we thought we could turn the tide against Clutch if we were able to raid him back. As soon as we were allies with ZeroZero, we set up a plan of attack on Clutch's base, which is why we did some recon beforehand. We had people providing food, providing TNT, providing guns. Everything was planned out, and it was looking like we were actually going to pull it off. This was the night. Anyway, I'll get back to that later. There's also something I want to include that happened during the preparation for the raid. So we were going to get some final supplies like extra ammo, food, armor, bandages, and anything that could help out the effort. All of a sudden, I was teleported to a location I still don't know to this day. I was teleported right behind someone with the text that I think that said Spooderman's crazy prank or something like that. Spooderman was an admin on the server, and it seemed like he teleported the wrong guy. The person I teleported behind saw that I put something in chat and turned around and shot me. I went to the server and asked him what happened, and he said I had a similar name with someone, and he got me instead. I was unbanned and given all my stuff back along with a few other things. Back to the raid. This was the night. With hate in our eyes, we were finally able to shift the tides in our favor and beat Clutch at his own game. We got our supplies and waited on the node Clutch's base is located. We had to wait a bit because Lars and his team was running a little late, so we decided to do a bit of recon so we could see who was on their base. We got close enough, and as you can see, we caught Clutch and his crew in 4K. As soon as we saw that, we immediately fled the area. Our spot had been compromised because they were cheating. I knew exactly what to do. I went to the Discord as soon as I got to a safe place far away from the area, and grabbed him by the ankles and dragged him into the spotlight. I pinged him and made the accusation of him cheating. The Discord server went wild. No wonder he was able to see everyone before they saw him. They were using Journey Map to spot players and kill them. People immediately started flaming him for his actions. I cornered him with no escape. He tried to explain to everyone that he was told he can use it by one of the admins, who had been hired this season and was inexperienced for that matter. Everyone calmed down afterwards, but Zach kept going, and Cold Ocular dropped the image you previously saw, and which did add a little bit more fuel to the fire, but not for long. Lars eventually got everything back under control, and that was the end of it. I asked why he had been able to join with the contraband mod, and he said that the anti-cheat was disabled because it kept crashing the server. The next morning, I was surprised to see that ZeroZero had been disbanded. I'm not sure exactly why, but when we inspected the area later that day, we saw that there were TNT cannons and holes everywhere. I'm assuming that after our failed raid attempt, Clutch decided that he would go all out on ZeroZero and turn their base into Swiss cheese. We were devastated by the fall of our ally, but that not only meant that we were now the runner-up for the most powerful faction, but we were also the next on the list of factions to get rid of on Clutch's list. If he wanted total control of the server, we were the ones in the way of his every step from now on. We were ready for him. We saw what had happened to ZeroZero, so we got to work on upgrading our own base and stocked up supplies in case of a raid. I woke up the morning after with a dismantled TNT cannon right outside our base, so I cleared it up and we finished the defenses. We were ready for anything that Clutch could send against us, and I had traps in mind that I wanted to make. We thought we were ready, but we weren't. Now that sounds like Clutch came after us with an army and slaughtered us, right? Wrong. There was an announcement on the server that it would shut down and start back up. There was a reason for this. Clutch and one of his friends had been duplicating items with a VMW glitch that had to do with your offhand. I won't explain how to do it out of respect for Vic and his team, but just know that it was something he was trying to do very fast, so we knew that it was meant to be used against us. He told his friend to do it faster before the restart, and Lars said over chat for everyone to see, "What do you mean, go faster?" The server was then shut down and started back up. Clutch was banned. After everything he had caused, this was the last straw for him. Now, of course, there were other reasons, but you'll see what they were later. Finally, his reign was over, and we took his mantle as the most powerful faction on the server. Winter was coming, and with our new role, the New Coast Republic knew what we wanted to do. We built not too far away from ZeroZero and started a motel that would help newer players until they were able to survive without help. It sounded a little dumb on a server mainly about war, but we actually had quite a few visitors stay. I found some ruins of a base not too far away and built a trading outpost for others to discuss trade and hang out. We built farms and heating posts with lava and glass that people could use if they didn't have wool clothing. The future was looking bright for the server. Two days after we started the ZeroZero motel, we were raided while I was sleeping, and somehow people were able to mine straight into our claim and break the obsidian vault we had made. We went straight into accusing the only other player online, and went into a VC with Lars as the judge. We fought back and forth saying that the player was the only one online, and we asked for him to show us his files. We waited a bit and got the idea that he was purging his files for the contraband mods and the resource pack that would have been there. When he showed us the files, one of us noticed that the date modified was literally just a few minutes ago and was about the time we had accused him. He claimed that Minecraft updates the files every time you launch Minecraft, and he accidentally opened it instead of the file. After about an hour of arguing and everyone just getting tired of the whole situation, everyone died down and Lars gave us the final verdict. He chose not to ban the player, as we couldn't find any actual evidence against him. Later the day, I had double checked if what he had claimed was correct, and it was false. Minecraft does not update the files every time you launch it. In the end, I personally don't put specific fault onto Lars, my friends, or myself for not checking it earlier. We were just tired and we didn't want to continue arguing over a video game. This is the last time we ever logged onto the server, before it eventually shut down. We knew that we had done enough, and continuing any longer would only bring more pain to ourselves if we lost anything afterwards. The New Coast Republic was disbanded and left the server for good. We stayed in the Discord server until it was eventually deleted, in hopes of another season. We had no hard feelings though, and I cherish the memories we made on our journey from dirt poor to the most powerful faction on the server. Unfortunately, everything I've told you is up to my memory, which could very well be wrong. I've taken screenshots of everything I've been able to, but most of the server has been lost as the Discord server was eventually deleted after the shutdown of the server. I'll remember my time on the server for quite a bit, as my friends and I put a lot of hours for the short time it was around. Yeah, I don't think I said anything about it, but everything you were told about in this video happened in less than a month. In the end, if I had the chance to get everyone back together for a 4th season, including Clutch, I would. I had a lot of fun, and I would love to do it all over again. The next segment of the video will be a few interviews I did with one of the members and the owner of the server. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Hey man.
Hey.
Oh whoa, really quiet, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh no, alright.
Okay.
So one small issue, my family is here, I closed my door, but it's possible that you'll hear them sometimes.
Alright.
Alright.
First question. Can you remember how you started out on the server?
Oh. Yeah, I think I actually have the recordings from that. I was bored with a friend on VC. We were playing Unturned and we got kind of we kind of played too much, so we decided to try something else. And since I was on Vic's server at the time, RLMC was one of the advertised servers, and we just gave it a try.
Did you join a faction or did you stay by yourself?
Let me remember. No, I think we kind of isolated ourselves. No, there was no factions, right?
Did you have any alliances?
I tried getting one alliance early on with the IRA. There was actually a plot to assassinate the leader of Builders Brigade, I think was the name. But I quickly caught on that the IRA was kind of the bad guys of the server, so I wanted to ally myself with the Builders Brigade. But I don't think we ever reached like a formal alliance.
Do you remember Clutch?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What was your opinion on him when he first started his tyrant?
Right, I have to admit, I never really came across him. I came across very few players actually,
Really?
But I did hear that he was really good at the game, and no, I think the fact that I was isolated in the Eastern Europe part of the map really made me kind of ignore him, maybe.
What was your opinion on ZeroZero, the faction?
ZeroZero. Wait, are we talking about the second edition or the third one?
Well, I'm talking about just like in general, like just the faction where you joined when you were new, or like the one that was made for all like the newer players, I guess. Like,
because ZeroZero was in the third season. I don't think they were active on the second one.
I thought it was only the second season.
Maybe there was a ZeroZero faction that I was just not aware of, but I don't think Lars had a faction in the second season.
I thought there were only two. Was there a third one I'm not aware
of? Yeah, of course. The second one, sorry, the first one I was not part of. It apparently wasn't great. The second one was with the Earth map, right? And the third one was the latest one, the last one.
Okay, so the third one was the islands. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay, I thought there was the first one that I had also joined and then didn't play much. And then
yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know there was three. I thought there was just two.
There were three. So ZeroZero was only active in the third one, I think.
Yeah.
If they were active in the second one, I didn't know anything about them. I think it was a good effort. I think the idea was good. and it really was effective because they had like what, above 10 players at one point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had
And
close like 16.
it was insane,
It was
right?
large. It was.
But what killed them was management, I think. And Lars was big. He was an admin, right? He had to take care of the servers anyway. So I think that's how it ended. But it was a good idea. It's a shame that it fell apart.
Yeah. Did you come up with any strategies at all?
Well, for the second season, it was just mostly self-isolation and helping some new players when the Sahara Fort event started. I was more active in the community in the third season, at which point our position of the base kind of allied ourselves with what was the name? Clutch's clan, anyway. But see, being an ally of Clutch doesn't really work when he makes half the server rage quit. So we had an idea. There was a period where he was at war with ZeroZero. There was the huge siege.
Yeah, and my crew, the New Coast Republic, which I was a part of.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were. That was a crazy war. I had
right, but remember this. So I was the leader of mountain people, and I don't think I said this publicly in the RLMC Discord, but there was a plot to betray Clutch and fuck him up because
really,
it was a plan that I proposed to the members, but they didn't agree. Basically, the plan was to. We already had an alliance with the biggest Mac. I can't remember his guild name. Basically, a faction in the southern island. And also an alliance with Lars. It was kind of a trade secret alliance.
Yeah.
And since we were on the same island as Clutch, I had this idea that we could maybe combine 3 factions and just make a huge siege for Clutch. But we weren't really prepared. We had like 2 guns at that point, so we kind of ruled it out. And then ZeroZero fell apart, and you know the rest.
Yeah. When the server finally ended, what were your thoughts?
I kind of expected it because the player count was it was really low. The server had its issues.
Yeah.
The new players weren't coming back, but it was fun. I have good memories of the server, especially the second season.
Yeah. If you could sum up the entire server or like the entire experience in one sentence, what would it be?
That's a tough question. I think wasted potential.
Really?
And yeah, it's not aimed at Lars because he did the best he could, but he failed to notice and solve some of the issues in the design.
Yeah. And there were some things that he couldn't really help with, like the
That's true, right?
Like the duplication glitch. That's with with Vic's Modern Warfare Warfare itself. He couldn't change that, and so when Clutch started using it, he just had to ban offhand in general.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
Well, I've got my own opinions about the mod, which you can probably figure out that I'm with the fact that I'm banned right now.
Yeah.
But, there were many more issues than just with the mod. In my opinion, the gameplay was not rewarding enough. It was when you really narrow it down, it was just vanilla progression, and then just hoping the players would stay and fight. I guess it's not really that good of a design, but it's the power of hindsight.
Yeah. And we tried helping Lars. I know a couple people tried helping Lars, like giving him ideas how to prolong it, because I think some of them were like events and stuff. The
events only work short term, in my opinion.
It's like every once in a while there was like a new military base or something, and it was
exactly
like military or like server wide raid.
Well, that was a thing in the second season. I don't know if you played.
Was it?
Back then.
No, I didn't play it at all. Okay.
Yeah, it basically was just custom NPCs forts, but it was a half solution.
So sorry. What?
Are we live? Are we
Yeah, we're
recording?
live. We're live.
Hello, person that is recording this for the first time.
Yeah,
The
totally,
first time
totally.
we're talking.
Oh, when the server first started, I'll mess with the questions a little bit.
Yeah.
When the server like first started, like I was only aware of 2 seasons, but apparently there was the third one was the last one we did, or you did. Is that true? Or like, and if so, like, what challenges did you face?
All right. So, in terms of seasons, I think we named the last season season 2. But
Yeah.
in terms of the service history, we have been rebooted like 3 times now. And each time we changed the server a bunch and new people came in and all that. So you could say there's been 3 seasons. And the biggest hurdle thus far has been lack of resources, either in manpower or in funding.
Yeah. You can re-explain the thing with FastCap, by the way, if you want to.
Oh yeah. So the way that we hosted the server, because I couldn't pay the server out of pocket due to complications with sending money outside my country. I'm from Greece, by the way, and
okay.
we have some I think it's called capital control, so some stupid shit like that, and I would get audited by my IRS and taxed, which is bad. So I couldn't pay out of pocket. So what we did was go to VMW. Basically, I was picked up by VMW. The server was picked up, and they said, "We like your idea, and we would like to help you host it. And in return, you give us like half your profits." Jokes for them, I didn't make a single dollar. So I was pretty much freeloading, yeah.
We'll take half of your $0.
Yeah, by the way, if the guys at BMW say this, I am so fucking sorry.
Can you re-explain how the faction of ZeroZero came around?
Oh yeah. So what I usually do when there are players around, I go in vanish. So I become invisible and I get removed from the scoreboard so people cannot see that I'm online.
Yeah.
And I scuttle around, I look at them, I have fun because I really like observing what the players do. I was doing that for a group of players that were settling the centermost island of the server. When I had an idea, I called up a friend of mine and I said, "Hey, let's go to the bushes, like right next to them, go on survival and jump out and like scare them or some shit." And we did that, and somehow they said, "You want to join us?" And I said, "Sure, and fucking, I'll join for like a day, help them out." In the end, I stayed there for like the server's lifespan.
Yeah, like
pretty
the
much.
entire server lifespan.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about Clutch before his eventual ban?
Clutch, he's a sweetie. He's a cutie. Clutch, if you're seeing this, message me. I did ban him, yeah, but there is no bad blood between us. There's no animosity. He's a very genuine person. And I was, I don't want to say I was forced to ban him, but I was told to ban him because he and his friends were creating a toxic environment. And the VMW guys did not want to be associated with that, so they said, "We're either going to drop you or you're going to fix your server's climate," pretty much. So that meant banning Clutch and Weebus and all those guys.
Yeah.
So I had to let them go.
I mean, which is fair. Like, they don't want to, like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen much of the announcement they made a couple days ago about their server that they're making. But they've put a lot of hard work. They wouldn't really besmirch their name.
Contagion is really good.
Yeah. In hindsight, do you think you should have like let him go sooner, like banned him sooner, or do you think you could have given him like one more chance?
I think I could have kept fighting for his sake, you know, to say it in a very dramatic sense. I could have saved the boy. It's honestly, I think I let him go a bit too easily because I was mentally checked out. I was not up for the task of arguing for his sake.
It was 4:59 on a Friday. I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Are you how do you feel about the server as a whole? Are you happy? Are you like kind of a little upset? Like, what do you think?
Oh, I am disappointed by how it turned out. Look, the server had a lot of potential, and I would have kept going. I would have kept chugging along because the server has been through some difficult times in the past, and it has bounced back. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
The real issue that made me stop was my personal health, my mental health, and my physical health as well. Like, people were seeing that I was kind of overworking myself, and they told me, listen, man, like, step down. Even the guys at VMW told me, look, man, maybe you need a break. No, I'm fine. I can do it, man. Listen to me.
Please let me prove myself.
Please, yeah, but like a fucking crack addict. Please, man, one more week working, please.
What? Okay. Sorry. If you were given the chance, would you do it over again?
Oh, 100%. 100%, baby. Because, honestly, I still am pretty hurt about that lost potential. And especially seeing how the community reacted to it. Like, right now, this is the community's reaction. I am being interviewed for a video essay on a server that lasted 3 fucking weeks. That is insane.
Yeah.
That is fucking, and I am so grateful for all of that, and that makes me want to return. That makes me want to run RLMC again, baby.
Yeah.
Do it properly this time.
Yeah. Is there anything that you wanted to add for any reason, but for whatever reason you like couldn't, like time?
Oh yeah. I was simultaneously writing 2 plugins, one war plugin and one XP generation plugin for a mod that I was also writing, and also I didn't mention this in the interview that never happened, but we were also planning on making a fucking vehicles mod around vehicles. Yeah, which included artillery pieces, tanks, boats, planes. What the fuck? I was planning on a lot of stuff.
That would have been crazy though.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, that would have been crazy. But that would have been crazy, like difficult to do.
Really ambitious.
Yeah,
really ambitious.
Way ambitious. Maybe you could like relay a few ideas over to Vic's team, to the Contagion team. I mean, maybe you could even help with the what is it? What are they called? Expansion content packs. You could like help work on the content packs if you when Economy and Vic's Modern Warfare and Contagion release, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I want to make something clear. that I am fucking shit at programming. Like, yeah, I am not a developer. I am a designer. That is a
Yeah.
very big
Very
difference.
big difference.
Like, right, I was writing whatever the fuck I was writing with one of the guys at BMW, like over my head, all the time. Like I write one line of code. So what do I do next, boss? And he was fucking fuming because I am a fucking dipshit and I do not understand Java.
Yeah. I mean, I spent like a week crunching down Java. Like literally last week, I spent a week learning it in my school, and my wrists are in pain. Like
Man, it's
I've only been able to. I've stepped away from my computer for so long. I've only like used Discord and like maybe like record a few things, like in between. But this entire week, I've only been able to play things like console games because my wrists are in so much pain. Ugh.
bless your courage.
Yeah.
Bless you. You're doing God's work.
Yeah, I learned like basically all of the basic stuff in like a week, and I am in pain. I don't know how
Holy
Jim
shit.
does it. Like Jesus Christ.
Man, he's a fucking wizard.
Yeah,
he's a fucking wizard. This shit doesn't make sense.
No.
It doesn't. Because I also know the basics. I was able to write the plugin that gives you like experience points. And
Yeah.
I say, okay, I'm pretty confident. I can probably write a mod. Okay, Jim, tell me what to do for the mod. Okay, you do this and that and this and that and this and that. What the fuck what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you saying? This is not Java. This is not programming. This is fucking alchemy. What is this shit?
I'm not being I'm not even learning how to write code at this point. I'm learning how to do magic. I'm a wizard.
What the fuck is this shit?
Freaking Gym Academy.
Man, it's
Mr. Hold'em, please hold my hand. It's gonna take me 10 times as long as you learn.
man, holy shit! And this man just does it effortlessly like that. Oh yeah, of course the pipi poo poo value at the screen blo bimblo and that.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying, Jim?
Speaking a whole nother language. Anyway, what did I just ask you? Yeah, okay. What were your thoughts on like the almost server-wide war?
That's the point of the server, baby. That's why I made it. I made it so that people make big fucking towns. Big towns, as big as they can go. And then seeing those towns interact with each other and eventually go to war. War is a big part of RLMC. I really, really like how war turned out on RLMC. I really like it. Man, it's holy shit.
I'll put my mic a little bit closer to my face. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Like the war with Clutch, that was like, I feel like just like being paranoid because I think he was also quarantined like in that first week, like me, so he was on like all the time.
He was
along with me
all fucking day.
And so I would just sit down on my PC and just like be so paranoid, especially after like the first attack that he did. Like my friend it was Cold Ocular, because I like New Coast Republic and everything. It was me, Salty Boy, and Cold Ocular throughout the entirety of that lifetime. But Cold Ocular says, "Hey, is that you two outside our base, like our first base, like the one? It was the base where."
Is that you? No, dies.
Yeah, he literally said, "Hey, is that you?" and then immediately died. And we put everything on lockdown. It was so crazy. Yeah, it was. He was like, "Hey, are you walking outside of our base?" And we're like, "No, we're both inside." And then he's like, "Oh," and then just dies. It was so funny.
Man,
but like,
it was fucking crazy.
And of course, we had a little bit of a bad reputation because we were the ones that I think it was you, or it was either that or Spooderman, had to intervene and get rid of our claim because we.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
No.
It
It's actually it was literally like a bug. There's nothing wrong with what you did.
We just saw that it was a command, and we just went, "Hey, what if we just did this?" And we honest to God, we didn't plan on it to happen for like the entire day. It was just so we were able to make a house, and then maybe like our first firearm, and then we were gonna turn it off. Like, I swear, I didn't mean it to be like a whole raid, like a whole 2-person raid, who somehow had guns in the first day. That was so crazy. That blew us away.
Nice.
How they had a whole arsenal in like less than 5 hours, and we were raided.
Yeah, because they what Clutch did was he traded for those nodes, because for anybody that doesn't know, because I'm sure this video is gonna blow up, babe. RLMC is a very popular topic. For anybody that doesn't know, RLMC had resource nodes, which were places where large concentrations of one ore were there, like what was the Vixors, aluminium and copper and all that,
And sulfur,
those were found only nodes. So in order to craft a gun, you had to find one copper node, one aluminium node, one sulfur node for the ammo, and to mine all that, and then to make the guns. That was very difficult.
Yeah, and then with that craftable slime mod, that took forever.
Yeah.
And then, not only
also,
that, it was the craftable slime mod, and then also tough as nails, which made it to where you couldn't stand too close. Or like, because of the, was it that or it was the heat or something, especially when it turned summer all of a sudden, and it just got really hot in your base. And then it turned winter, and then we had like the ZeroZero Motel that we made. We had
fires everywhere.
Yeah, we literally had like multiple poles of just lava surrounded by glass. Just everywhere. It was like, oh dude, that
it was epic.
That season's was it a plugin or a mod? I think it was a mod.
It was a mod.
Yeah,
it was a mod.
That was such it made sense, and it fit with the server. Like it was like supposed to simulate real life almost, but like that was such a good idea. Like, bravo, that was such a good idea.
And the funny part is that the server has been up for like 2 years, and in the server's lifespan, for a year and a half, I had to fight non-stop for people to not remove that mod. Everybody wanted that mod out. Everybody hated fucking certain seasons. They hated it.
Which is understandable, because if it was too cold outside, like if it was day during the winter, you were either burning up or just like borderline on fire.
Yeah.
And when it turned nighttime, it was like freezing, and you had to like wear warm weather, but like the wool clothing, but you couldn't have it on during the day. Which it's understandable why people didn't like it. It was just annoying to deal with, but it made sense, and I honestly feel like it made the server better.
I feel that as well. There's a lot of things that people find annoying in RLMC's design, but they are there to make it more cumbersome to move around, to make it more cumbersome to gather, to do all that stuff, so you group up with other people.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Is there anything you wish you could have done differently?
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, a lot of stuff. Like, now that I look back at it with hindsight being 21, fucking so many little details tweaked, so many, maybe I could have done this, I could have done that, oh, that's a good idea. How long has it been ever since it has closed down? Like, 4 months?
Yeah, it's been at least like 4 or 5 months, I think.
Yeah,
ever since
I have been going on the service design in my mind again and again. I haven't stopped pondering about the service design. I'm still thinking about RLMC. I can't stop. I need help, man.
You're not just burning the candle at both ends. You're throwing it into a furnace.
Yep. Fuck the candle.
There is no candle. It's just a puddle. In the end, do you think you could have? Do you think the server could have lasted longer if you played the right cards?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I blame myself and only myself for the server flopping.
Which is understandable. Like with like a team of literally like I think 3 people, though I only like interacted with 2 and Spooderman, which I'll get to in a little bit. I don't even know if you do you remember that little prank that he tried pulling and best doing it on me instead? Do you remember that at all? Yeah, it was so because my name on Minecraft is the man on TVs, there were the man on TV or whatever. There was someone else who had a very similar name, and it was like the man something. It was like the man something else, and I think it was another admin or someone that Spooderman was like a buddy with, and he did it to me instead, and it had like it was like literally right before we were going to raid a like we were about to raid Clutch, and I had
teleported you away.
Yeah, he teleported me off to some weird bunker, like right behind someone, and I typed in chat, what? And this guy turned around and just one pumped me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I just remembered like going into the Discord server and be like, hey Spooderman, can you please explain why I was just randomly teleported for a prank? And he was like, oh, that was you? I'm so sorry, please let me fix. So like it took like 10 minutes, but like it was so funny. I was so confused, and it also had like some splash screen text or whatever. It was like funny Spooderman prank. Oh, it was some stupid tagline, but I remember it so vividly, mainly because he gave me a Mr. Crayfish TV, I think, out of it, so that was pretty cool. But
what? That was bad. What a motherfucker.
he gave us a TV out of it. He gave me like all of my stuff, like I think like 5 diamonds and then a TV. Here, let me go back to I think it was one of our group chats. I think it was Puon called Clutch.
Clutch? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Watching my favorite YouTuber, I wonder what he'll say. That's what it was. That's how we had that. That was the TV that we had.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was so it was so dumb. But yeah.
That's so on character for Spooder, because he did that shit for the entire time he was on the fucking server.
Yeah.
He has done a lot more than that. A lot more, let me tell you.
I just remember being like, oh, Spooderman, could you like help me out, please? And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I had like all of my good stuff. I had a whole different like military skin. Like this was before we knew about F3B or whatever it was, like the hitboxes.
Oh yeah.
So like I had like full ghillie suit. I had the military skin. I was ready. I had a full kitted out Car 98 standard issue. And I was like, all right, we're so ready. Just give us like 10 minutes and we'll be on our way. And then Spooder teleports me randomly, and I'm like, what? I was like, and to be honest, I actually tried combat logging. It was like the only time I swear it was the only time I ever did it. I committed a sin, but I was scared. I was scared for my life.
I can understand. I can
Yeah.
understand plugging there. Fucking teleported to a soul trap.
Yeah, and then, and then, I actually ended up dying afterwards. Like, he turned around and I quit the game, but I think he shot me right before, I think he shot me right before I left. I don't know, but, cause I came back to the server and I was dead, but, I think that's it. Actually, yeah, I think there was something else that I was supposed to say, and I'll probably not like it because on that tangent with Spooderman, I remember I was gonna say something before and I can't remember it. I'll probably not like it later, but I think that's all we have. I have been recording, so this totally first take has been recorded and will be.
Yeah, let's go.
And thank you, Lars, the server admin, for letting this all happen in the first place. So,
thank you for being there and enjoying it, man.
Yeah,
and thank
I
you
had-
for making a video on my shit ass fucking server, on my doo-doo ass fucking garbage server. Fuck that server. That server sucks dick.
Like, left it, you buried it in the dirt and then stomped on it and then spit on it. And then
Exactly.
then Frost messaged you and you're like, my child.
My child. I'm gonna say no.